witches.
Hi, hello. Welcome back.
So this is totally random, but I'm tired and this is what happens when I'm tired. I love looking at other podcasts that are more established and looking at their merch. And I just imagine ours that we're gonna have like stickers that say, "Hey witches," and then like "Hi, hello" underneath it.
I love
That's
it.
just what I imagine. You have to draw like a mock up of that.
Or like stupid shit that like Brittany or Will says. Well, Will says this. Brittany agrees.
Oh my god.
I
Yes.
love it. Anyways. All right, episode 2 of The Night and Its Moon.
Yes, it's starting to get
I
good. My
went
goodness.
through I went through a several times while
Yeah.
reading for this episode. I was like, what is happening? I go into like I took a break from reading and I walked in to see Will and Will's like, "How's the book?" And I was like, "It's good." He goes, "Yeah, it's really good." And I was like, "Yeah, there was something that happened that I was like, oh my god, what happened? Why?" And it was a twist I wasn't ready for. Oh my god, it was so good. Anyways,
Oh my
um,
gosh.
where did we go? Oh, chapter 9. Oh my god, this
9.
started off with like a freaking whirlwind.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
Just the
Um,
end of it all.
yeah. So I literally was just like the whole time the first page and a half, I was just like, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Cause like I knew she's having all this pain and Mars is having all this pain, and I was just like, oh, it's her fucking period. Like,
Yeah,
here it
literally,
comes.
I read something was wrong, pain laced through her side. I was like, it's her period. God
Shit.
damn it. I
Right?
was like, oh my god, did she start her period? The peacock lady is coming back.
Right?
No.
Which I have things to say about that bitch later, but like lots of things. Um,
Same.
but yeah, like they didn't have time to run, and all them little kids are screaming and crying like little bitches. So,
It's like, shut the fuck up. That's probably what Knox is saying. Shut up.
I mean, she
Close
she
your
kind of does. I
goddamn
mean, she
mouth.
doesn't say shut up, but she's like, shh.
Shut the fuck up.
Speaking of shh, look at this. Do you see this gash on my
Kind of.
neck?
Got a
So
shit
yeah, I
camera.
know my shitty camera. Listen, I ordered a new one, guys. Bear with me. Like right now, before we started recording, I ordered a new camera. Um,
I see like a red faint line.
yeah. So it's a day old. It happened yesterday because we had an unexpected lockdown drill at school. No, not a drill, an unexpected lockdown at school because there was something going on in the community. And
You
one of
know,
the
I've
other,
I've seen shit like that happen in real time.
yeah, but
Literally
one
out
of
by
my
your
kids,
job.
yeah, for real, for real. One of my kids is triggered by the word or by the sound shh. He used to have a teacher or something. I don't know. That's not the point, but he's triggered by that. Um, and one of the other kids told him to shh because we were in a lockdown drill, and so I got scratched, and I'm just like at least I know why, I guess, but also
What
it's
the fuck,
huge.
kid?
The fact that you can see it on my shitty camera tells you
Yeah.
how bad it is. But
I see the like the line.
yeah.
It's definitely yeah. Shit. I'm just kidding. I don't work with kids anymore, I can say that.
Oh, I
Um
do, but I love them. Little pubescent terrors, but I love them.
what is something that always people always said to me? Oh, bless your heart for taking care of all those children. Ma'am, I am not a teacher.
Takes a special
You are
person to
doing
do their
God's
job.
work. No, I'm not, Barb. No, I'm not. Thanks for thinking I am, though.
It takes a really special person to do what you do. That's what I get all the time.
So you're not special in any way, right?
Right. I'm like, okay.
Somebody came, who was it? I think it was my aunt or something, said, "Oh, it's like, it takes a very special person to do that." And I was like, "But you're not doing it. So does that mean you're not special? Like, what's different about me? I
No,
don't
dude. It
shout,
like
you're the
I don't
devil."
disagree that it takes a special person, but also it takes a lot of medication. Let me be very clear.
If you
I
don't have
am
natural,
medicated.
if you don't have a natural, what's the word? If you don't have a natural, uh, like patience, like if you're not born with patience and you like, there's no way around it, you fucked.
Here we go. Brittany says, Brittany says all the time that the only place I have patience is work, and she's so right. Because even like with our nieces and nephews, I don't put up, which I guess it's kind of different. I get out my teacher voice a lot when they're here, but like Brittany says, the only place that I have patience is um, work and with the kids that I work with, and she's kind of right because in every other aspect of life, I'm impatient. Even with the other adults that I work with, sometimes I'm impatient.
Yeah. Every single time I get pulled into like the manager's office, they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna have this." It's like a new person or something like that, and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna have this person like hang out with you," and I'm like, "Why me?
Ugh.
Why? Why do I have to be the one to stand up at register for 8 hours to teach this person how to do register? Like, why do I have to do it? Pet care, I understand, but register, for the love of God, register." And they were like, "You have patience. You have like the teaching ability. You can teach it. This is your master's. You literally tell us that you have a master's in training and how this is what you want to do. And now we're giving you the opportunity." And I'm like, ugh, fucking right.
Like I
But
changed my mind.
register? Literally, I just tell them what to point to it. That's all going to be about repetition. Like pet care, you actually need to teach and train somebody. Like goddamn, don't get me started on pet care. I think that like the way they train, it's like all video based. Like you watch 4 hours worth of videos,
Oh my
and then you
god.
don't get on to, and then you're not like in pet care because for one reason or another with staffing, and then it's like 3 weeks go by and you haven't watched the videos since, and it's like the videos don't even tell you all the shit you need to be in like a habitat with a certain animal. That's what we tell you, and it's like sometimes we can't be there all the time, and if you don't remember, then you're on the floor by yourself like praying to the higher above anything for assistance.
Oh my
And
god.
so I've already griped about that with my boss. But anyways, point saying, I'm always the one that has to go get training because I always apparently have some patience. And I was like, I basically just get to tell people what to do and what not to do. Like, what's so bad about that? Someone's like, I don't have the patience for that. You don't have the patience to tell somebody what to do and how to do it. Like, you
I
just
don't have
show
the
it to them.
patience for adults, especially adults that like this is why I had to do online college because adults that ask lots of stupid questions or questions that were just fucking answered drive me insane. Like I can't do it.
There's this one
I
girl,
can't.
anytime she was in probably like the first couple of years, not couple of years, but first couple of semesters, she was consistently in all my classes. And every time I saw her, I was like, oh, Mackenzie. Never knew her. We literally, she lives in Maryland. Wait, no, Maine. She lives in Maine. I like clearly lived in Indiana. Like, never met her, nothing. Just seeing her. And I get distracted. And of course, we're all on Zoom. So I see everybody like mess. If they're moving, I see them. Like, I immediately stop looking at the teacher and go to whoever is moving. And she would always be like playing with her hair or like putting it up in a bun. And I was like, I'm staring more at my like college classmate than I am at the
Oh
teacher because I can't fucking focus on anything other than you playing with your goddamn hair.
my gosh.
And then it
That's
was
why
just
so
like she just consistently was like, "Ma'am, I have a question." It's like, of course you do.
yeah, I got my first degree at Ivy Tech in person. And by the end of it, I stopped going to class. Because like you didn't have to go to class. There was no like as long as you showed up for the tests, you were fine. So I stopped going to the classes because I literally could not handle it. And you all know me. Well, some of you know me. I don't control my facial expressions well at all. So, when I was annoyed, I was very annoyed. And it was clear to
Listen,
everyone that I was annoyed.
the first time I found out Brandy was annoyed was the first time I knew what not to do because I hadn't I had been in her class. I was still trying to get used to my position. I had no idea what I was really doing because I didn't have any like I knew my job was to like help kids with behaviors and like figure things out. But the direction of all of that was absolutely there was no direction. It was here you go. What do you want to do? And it's like what the fuck do you want me to do? Uh
Right?
so I would go to Brandy's class a lot because I had a client with her and I would sit there and I would just watch and I would be talking to Brandy, but I didn't know like obviously I like we weren't close. I didn't know anything like personal in life, but she was sitting there reading a book. And I was like, oh, a book you reading. I like reading books, like, just making conversation because I'm sitting there like watching this kid do nothing, like trying to figure out what to do. The look on her face, I was like, oh, she's not in a good mood today. Okay, point taken. Sorry I said anything. Let me just go back. And then the next day I come back because, like, obviously with the same kid, I see the kid's not there, and I was like, where the fuck is she? And Brandy's like, you can come in and sit. She's not here today, though. It's like, son of a bitch. And she's like, yeah, here, have some chocolate. And literally, she was in such a better mood that day. And yeah,
Listen, my moods were volatile in that place because toxic rubs off on you.
it really does though. And it was literally like the fourth week of class, and I'm still trying to figure out where to go, what to do, and I had no idea what the fuck was happening. Good times.
Ooh-wee.
Anyways.
Good times, yeah. Ooh-wee. Where are we? We're still on chapter 9. Oh God, this is not going well. We're
This is
12
what
minutes in.
happens when it's been a long week. One of us has been sick and the other one has just been like in a state of fogginess.
Yeah. Now, listen, I've been in the weirdest mood this week. Like I rearranged my whole classroom like I was telling you. Like
That's an anxiety
I
behavior, I feel like.
probably well, shit wasn't working the way it was, and I looked at the principal the other day and I was like, I think that I'm just going to get rid of all the desks and just totally change things up next year. And he was like, "Well, first of all, glad you said next year cuz yay. And second of all,
That's
cuz
not
they didn't think I was
confirmed.
coming
Where's my
back."
contract?
Right? They didn't think I was coming back. Um And then he was like, second of all, let's do it now. And so like he goes and gets his toolkit and comes back and we're like taking shit apart and I was like, okay, let's do it.
Support.
Could
I
you
like that.
imagine? Could you
No.
imagine any of the principals?
They walk in, don't change it, and then turns around and walks out. It's like, but it's not working for my kids. I don't care. Don't change it. Walks out
Could you
anyways.
imagine me being
Walks
like,
out.
I'm gonna get rid of all the desks?
Where are you
They
putting it? Where are you going to put it? You can't just stack it anywhere. Bitch, get rid of it. Like, where do you want me to put it? Put it in a
right.
storage.
Oh my god, they would have died. Where are the kids gonna
Anyways,
do their work? On the floor. I literally led a math lesson today. We put a blanket on the floor and sat in a circle like we were having a picnic and did math on the floor. They were more engaged in that math lesson than they have been all fucking year.
that says something.
Yeah, psychology people. Anyway, chapter 9.
Period. Start of the period.
Yeah, she started her period and Knox is like trying to make them all shut up and they're not. And so the people find out. Um, and so like the end of the chapter, like the last couple sentences, um, she looked at Knox and shook her head slightly, and Knox knew what it meant. Amaris was not going, no matter what. But like, what is she gonna do though? Like, she's like what 15.
Yeah.
I just was like, what is she gonna do though? I mean, we find out, but
Yeah. But, and I really like the intensity. Like, even into like chapter 10, I really like the intensity that like we're seeing from Amaris because it's like it's not like the soft spoken, like sweet child. It's
Yeah.
tonight. We're leaving tonight, whether you like it or not. Like we are
Yeah.
prepared as best as we going to be. Like we're leaving.
And they're like, they treat her, she's been treated as like this porcelain doll her whole life, but like that's not who she is. She's feisty. She's not going to do it.
Yeah, and honestly, I felt like our first impression of Nox would be like the feisty fighter. Like she
Yeah.
would be the protector. She would be the one to like go off and do big like bad things. Whereas Amaris would be like timid, shy, like Elaine from A Quarter
Uh
of
huh.
Thorns and Roses. She's very Elaine like to me. But we're seeing a little bit of badassness into it, and I'm liking
Yes.
it.
I agree.
And I'm honestly
Yeah.
really surprised Nox isn't as urgent. Because like Nox is
I
saying
agree.
like at this point, O'Raven was sent to Millicent, the person who
The
bought
madam.
yeah, Madam who bought Amaris. And they're like, okay, it takes 2 weeks to get from are we saying priori? Priori?
Well, hold on.
I don't
I think
remember.
it's priori, but let me check the pronunciation guide.
Love it. Is it there?
It's not there.
It's probably priori then. Like
I think it is.
priority. Priori. Priority. Fuck it. I don't care. The P word. She's got to travel from the coast, basically. And it takes about
Yes.
2 weeks by horse. So, and we know she's got like that big, long carriage. So, Knox is like, why don't we, like, it's only been a week. Why don't we wait? We have a few days. And Amaris is like, no, it's got to be tonight. We have to fucking go tonight. And it's like, we had a week. No, bitch. Like, get out of there as fast as possible. Get the fuck away from this lady. I don't
Yeah, be
care if
far
she's got a
away
week.
before she gets here.
And then she's like, all right, fine, tonight. And then guess what happens?
Uh huh.
A man comes,
This random stranger.
which at
I
first I thought it was the guy from like the very beginning of the story, like maybe coming to
I did
collect his
too.
due.
I did
And
too
then
at
as I
first.
kept reading, I was like, oh, never mind.
But like I like him because I like how he like on page 83. Yeah, he's like, mm-mm. Any establishment with the sign of the All Mother is bound to the law of sanctuary, and like he tells Mother Agnes what he's going to do. He doesn't, or Matron Agnes, whatever her name is. He doesn't give her a choice. He tells her what's going to happen.
And if you're going to bear that sign, then you better
Hmm.
fucking recognize.
But because of that, all the
Yeah,
matrons
and
are
we
going
kind
to
of
do patrols.
yeah, and we find out too that he's like not looted, but he's got a lot of coin. He's got a lot of weapons and armor. And so the
Yeah.
matrons are whispering that it is an assassin. And it's like, oh, an
Yeah.
assassin for who?
Ooh. Right?
Because at this point, Knox is like, we can't go. What if whatever hurt him is still out there?
Right.
Like, we can't go tonight. Like, the people are going to be roaming the halls. It's going to be a lot harder for us to leave. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. I get it. I mean, I see the
Yeah.
urgency, but also this would be a perfect distraction to
Right.
fucking
Well, and
go.
I knew as soon as they were like, we can't, I even wrote it. As soon as they were like, we can't leave tonight, we'll go tomorrow night. I was like, she gonna show up tomorrow. I
Oh
knew
fuck
it.
yeah. Always. And you
Knew
know,
it.
at this point too, it was really, really sad because like she straight up was like, I love you. Like genuinely, not like a sister. Like
Yes.
she was like, no, I love you. Like this isn't just a sisterly love, like professing her like love to her. And I was like, no, my heart.
I know.
I was like, oh no, it's about to break. It's about to break up because once you finally get like a little ship going, something fucks it up. And this is what's
Uh huh.
happening. The ship has
Here it
sailed,
is.
or myself, and then it got fucked up. And so now I'm pissed and just annoyed.
Yes.
Anyways.
So yeah, and then on page 89, I was like, I knew it. Because he
I
is
know. I put
Millicent.
WTF in all claps. Claps.
Claps.
Caps. What the fuck? Oh, there you go. It'd be like claps. What the fuck?
Snaps.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So then they're like, fuck, we're leaving right now. Um,
Ain't no way around it.
and so Knox is like breaking into the matron's office. She stole his money, but I was like, what's going to happen when he notices his money is gone?
Honestly, or even like the knives. I feel like if you're taking your stuff down, like you're going to take a mental note of what you're missing.
Right.
Like
But he doesn't.
if I'm like that kind of person, I'd be like, this is mine. This is
Right. Like,
also
oh, where's my
mine.
shit?
Right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we don't know his background. We don't know if that was provided to him, if he had to like fight for it or something like that. So it's like,
Right.
I'd be fucking protective. But yeah. And of course, when they're on their way down, they run into him.
Uh huh.
They're
Oh
running
my
down the side of
gosh.
stairs, going to the kitchen, and they just run into this dude. And he's just like, what's up?
Right. And but he
Here we
doesn't
go
give
with.
them away. He just lets them through and doesn't give them away, which is cool.
He is a man that does not like drama. He's like, not my problem.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
He's just very go with the flow of everything. Um.
Until he gets brought into it. And
Yeah.
then that's the kind of person he is. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. And then there's Millicent.
Ugh, peacock bitch.
Yeah, she's just a bitch. Like, uh, which I mean, I guess as like a woman business owner in that time, like, well, I guess we don't really know what time it said, but
Yeah.
it seems like it's
Like she owns a business of some sort.
yeah, and obviously, I mean, she is a madam. That's what she calls herself, but I, I don't know. She's a bitch.
Yeah. Well, and then we also find out too, because like the girls split up. So Knox Amaris is like, take all of this, run, go to the nearest wherever you can go. And like,
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
yeah. And then she gets caught by one of the matrons, Mabel or whatever, and then gets brought upstairs into the area where they're having tea. And then all of a sudden, it's just the madam and Amaris in there, and they're talking about like where they're going, and she's being very adamant, like, I want to know where I'm going, and like just being very defiant. And basically, she got sold to a brothel.
Hmm.
She's gonna be the next prized whore, from the sounds of it.
Yep.
And Amaris is like, "Fuck no, I am not," and then took literally the dagger that she was gifted by Knox from the masked assassin man, uh, and cut up her fucking face and
Yeah,
chest.
and the peacock lady was like, "You mean to hurt me, girl? Oh my, I wish you would try." And Amaris is like, "Nope, I mean to hurt me," and then she's just like, just like
She's like,
that.
fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, and um, so the madam starts screaming. Like Amaris is just like this cold, like not really
Blooded.
reacting kind of thing.
Let me just slice my face open down my, like, across my temple, down my, or across my forehead, down my temple, my face, and then like across my chest, and it's just like whatever.
Yep. And then she runs and begs the assassin to take her with him.
Now it's his problem.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and then the money that she was like, that Knox stole was his, and so she like flashed it at him like, "Hey, you want your money back?" And so then he
Right.
goes, I'm in need of a squire. I will pay whatever like you paid, like whatever I'll pay for. And then they were like, no, like I own you, like you're coming with me. And then basically she's like, okay, bye, and like tossed the money and then like went off.
Yep. And then I said on page 100, which is that page, I was like, I knew I liked him. And then I also said, so that's how Knox ends up taking her place. I bet that's the only way to appease the madam. Because
We
this girl
don't
seems like
know
she could
that
be
yet.
anything. No, we don't know that yet. But that's what I like. That's what I wrote when I was reading it. Like
Oh.
that's what I figured. Because like on the back of the book, we know that. Like if you read the back, you know that
Listen, I
Knox
try
ends
not
up
to read the
taking her
back
place.
of books because I'm stupid.
Oh well, I read the back of the book, so I knew that she took her place.
You know, however many times I end up reading the back of the book, I still forget. Like, I still forget.
But I've been trying to figure out this whole time how that switch was going to happen because Knox is not as special and she's got the scarred up back and like all that stuff. So I was like, why would she take her instead? But that makes sense why as to why.
Sorry, there's like red in my book and it's making me mad. Anyways, um,
That's all I had for chapter 11. So I'm on to
um,
chapter 12.
I just still can't believe that she literally slashed her face. When it
Right?
happened, I
It
was
makes
like,
sense though. Yeah, no, I was shocked too. Like I was not ready. But
yeah.
it makes sense.
Well, and then, okay, because I completely, this isn't for chapter 12, because I completely forgot that Nox ends up taking her place because, apparently I have the memory of a goldfish. I forget after 3 seconds. I basically was like, I'm surprised Amaris actually has waited this long to like ask about Nox. Like, let's go get Nox in the forest. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Like, she hasn't asked anything.
Right.
It's like, how are you going to find her? Like, you both
Right.
decided that you were going to go southwest to the coast, essentially where you got bought. And then now you're told that you're going north. Like,
Yeah.
just like Nox mean nothing to you. Like, what the
How
fuck,
are you
bro?
gonna find? Yeah, I know. I know. I don't. I think she was more concerned about getting away, but
I
still,
guess, I
yeah.
mean, I guess I get it, but also, like, she could also just deflower herself. That's kind of fucking dramatic, but,
That's what Moore did.
well, I guess I was doing, like, self inflicted. I wasn't thinking, like,
Oh,
that when I say, so, like, dramatic, I think that way.
well.
Maybe a little bit more traumatic, too, but, I mean,
Oh
however
my
way you
gosh.
spin it, it's not going to be good.
Whichever, whatever. Oh my gosh.
What is the safest option?
Definitely
Anyways,
taking a dagger to your face.
sepsis.
Oh my god.
Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
You
Chapter 12. I didn't write anything till page 105.
can say all you need.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was cracking up because on page 105, she is thinking in her head about how she doesn't have much experience with men and she doesn't know where is it. Oh yeah. Um
What do I do?
she
Do I touch
she
him?
doesn't believe much of men because they never
They're the
because
lesser sex.
the lesser sex had never given her a reason to trust them. Yes. That's what I wrote because it cracked me up. I just wrote the lesser sex in quotation marks.
Yeah, literally, it's the first page on 105. Or the first
Yeah.
part of 105. Love it.
And then he was just gonna let her go. Like he gave all that money to like rescue her basically, and he was just gonna let her go.
He's like,
Like,
all right,
good guy.
bye.
Right?
She's like, no, wait. Let me come with.
Right.
And it's really funny too because we learn about Amaris's name. So
Yeah.
so far we think it means gift from the goddess, but actually it means like from the north it means child of the moon, which makes sense because of her skin
Yeah.
tone and all of that.
And her hair and
And I think if she's
yeah.
Fey touched, then and I think the Fey lands her north.
Yeah. I think they're trying to lead us away from that a little bit because like here in a minute she puts a tonic on her, so she cleans her wounds with water and then puts a tonic on them, and I think they try to make us think that the tonic heals her wounds extra fast, but I think she's
I first
actually
thought
it's
about
just
it.
because she's fey touched and that just
I
makes
first
her
thought I was
wounds
like, damn, that's some
heal
good
faster.
tonic for it to like start healing. But then when they make it to stone and they make
Yeah.
it to like a not a brothel, but like an inn area, the
Yeah.
woman's like, oh my god, like this has been like this for weeks. And she's like,
It actually just happened
yeah,
yesterday.
this
Yeah.
morning, no less.
Right.
um, yeah,
And then so he's asking her about like what she knows and what she's learned, and he says, I literally quoted it. The last sentence on page 106 is stupidity and ignorance are not one and the same. And like, yes, I just need some people to understand that. Like, because I know some really educated people that are so ignorant. And I'm just like, how? How are you this educated and
yeah.
still such an idiot?
There was a old boss of mine, and I didn't know she like dropped out of high school twice. And we had another coworker of mine, and I was like, it makes sense why he's struggling to catch on with things and like just struggling a little bit like with the work. And I was like, he said that he dropped out of high school because he felt like he knew everything and that he would contradict the books, he would contradict the teachers, and he would basically just say like, y'all are stupid, that's not how it happened. And then he would go about his day and he's like, you know what, I'm too smart for this, and he just drops out. Never went to school, nothing like that. And so when I made that comment to her, she was like, well, I dropped out of high school twice. I was like, but did you drop out for this reason? She's like, no, I
Right.
dropped out the first time because I had straight A's. I was a great student. I just never went to school. I never thought a reason to go to school when I had straight A's. I get it.
Yeah.
And she's like, so I dropped out because I had a teacher that refused to let me like walk. And I was like, okay. And she's like, and I came back that next year and I ended up being pregnant. Well, I was pregnant and I was walking down the halls, and I don't say she's got anger issues, but she definitely has anger issues. Um, but then she's like, yeah, and I saw somebody that I was in school with, and she made a comment about me or something like that being pregnant, and it was rude. So I basically bashed her face in to a locker, and I was like, that's a good way to get kicked out of school. And she goes, yeah. So I did like the at home transitional kind of like school. And I was like, all right, cool. And she goes, yeah. So I just had my baby. The baby was 2 weeks old, had pneumonia, like was sick, like bronchitis, all of that. 2 weeks out of the womb, finally got to go home, and like the baby was sick. And so this teacher or whoever the transitional teacher was came to her house and was going to proctor her taking an exam. Well, her kid started crying, and knowing that her kid was sick, she got up to go like take care of it to like soothe it or do whatever. And the teacher told her to leave it alone and to like ignore the child because she was busy with a thing, basically citing that she needs to forget her child because school is much more important, that she'll never go anywhere in life. And so my boss was like, the fuck? No. My
Get out
kid's
of my
2 weeks
house.
old, sick, and if you're gonna continue acting like that, then you can fucking leave. And so she basically tried to stop my like boss from getting to her son. And my boss was like, nope, get the fuck out my house. Like, you're done. I'm done. I don't care. I will finish this on my own. Like, I don't need you here. Get out. So basically, she picked up the teacher, threw her out the fucking door, and like landed on her car. And because she parked so close to the house, which she was told, I guess, repeatedly not to do that, and she continually did that. So now her car is busted, and she's like pissed off and like wanting to call the cops on her. And she goes, "Well, you're trespassing. I've told you twice to get out, and you refused to leave, and so I had to throw you out. I'm on the phone with the cops right now." And so the police had it documented in favor of her, and she was like, "You can press charges all you want. Like, police are in my favor." And so the basically her like caseworker or whatever called and was like, "Yeah, if you drop out of school, the school corporation won't press charges. She will have to pay out of her own pocket to press charges if she's going to do that. But from the sounds of it, we would lose it, so we'd lose the money anyway. So if you just drop it, we won't continue on with it." And she goes, "Fuck it, I don't care."
Well,
And I was like, okay, but that's different. You
yeah,
had
that's
legitimate reasons for dropping out of school. He said that he was smarter than everybody else, and he was like, "I'm out. Bye." I'm like, no.
yeah, big
I am
difference.
all, if you want to do that, that's fine. That's your choice. But you better have a damn good reason to do it.
Yeah,
And that was not.
no,
Her, on the other hand, yes, I completely agree. But like the
right,
look on her face, she was like, "You're judging him right now because he doesn't have a high school degree." No, I'm judging his decision for not completing the high school degree.
right.
That's what I'm
That's a
judging.
very different situation.
So
Well, yeah, and
yes,
just high
I
school is not for some people. Like some people,
if you want to go get
I
your
mean,
GED, I don't care.
it's
You
so
do that.
much faster. And it's the
It's
same thing. Like
you
it's
just do it at your own
literally an
pace.
equivalent. And you can still go to college with a GED.
Mhm.
Like eh, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. So, but yeah, it's so true because it's like, yeah, you can be smart, but that doesn't mean you're street smart. Like, you don't have any
Right.
common sense. And get this, you have literally been bred your entire life to learn about the court system and to learn about like regal like life and parties and all of that kind of shit to be sold to a fucking brothel.
Mhm.
Like, you literally, I don't care how much she's paying for it. Like, you literally have spent your time and effort introducing Amaris to all of these like subjects just to sell her into sex trade. Like, are you fucking kidding me? She ain't gonna do
Right?
shit but
Like
lay on her back. Like, what the fuck?
they were doing all this to try to get her to be like a bride of like a prince or something and
Yeah, and it's a
here
fucking
she is.
brothel.
Oh my god, ridiculous.
Yeah, that would piss me off. Anyways,
Yeah.
also I feel I was consistently looking at the map of this, and for those who don't have the book, I'm gonna try to do this as best as possible. This is this right here is Farley. They're right there in stone, heading up this way. I feel like I mean maybe it's just the map and the fact that I don't have like one of those like this distance means this many miles, this inch is this kind of thing. Um but I just feel like that's super close to
Yeah, no, I don't think it's too far because it was just a couple days travel.
yeah, I feel like it's super super close. And I feel like if she's that close to them, she could literally be dragged back.
She could, but
Like
not from where she's going. I'd like to see them
well,
try.
okay. I thought they were gonna stay at Stone. I didn't think they were gonna
Yeah.
go anywhere else. So I honestly was like, "What the fuck?" Because at this point, they like were in Stone. I didn't know they were going anywhere else. I thought that's what, like the end goal was right there.
Yeah.
And I also think, or I believe, at this point in time that Odin, Odrin. Sorry, I've been playing too much Valhalla stuff. Odrin is someone's father.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, because Amaris made a comment about how like some about the fatherly figure kind of thing to
Oh
him,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
kind of like went off into like an dreamlike state. He's got like ruddy brown everything. What if he's Nox's dad? Because
Hmm.
she's ruddy brown or ruddy dark
Yeah.
features. Or it could be the father of Amaris, and then the mom matches her look, which might be why he was like, I'm gonna take pity on you.
Well, and he is from the north, like, which is like close to the uncharted Fey lands or whatever, or the wild, what they call it, the uncharted wild woods.
Yeah, the wilds.
Yeah.
So as
Um,
of now, that is my running thought.
I like it. Also, reading chapter 12, I got serious Geralt and Ciri vibes.
Oh, same. I literally put that on the next one where I was like, this reminds me so much of The Witcher.
Right? Like this whole chapter, I was like, what am I reading?
Right? I was like, Geralt, is that you? Should I start singing Toss a
Right.
Coin to your Witcher?
Right.
Don't
Oh
worry,
my
I will be the
gosh.
annoying sidekick with the
Raskia?
yeah, what is it? What do they call it? Mandolin?
Yeah, I
Is that what
think.
he calls it? Oh, the lute.
The loot, yeah.
The lute. Don't worry, I'll be
Yes.
that person. I'll say the same line 4 times over and over on repeat. I'll be like Donkey.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
We've been watching Shrek. I wanted to watch Romeo and Juliet, and Will's like, "This is a stupid movie." I was like, "Have you ever watched it?" He goes, "I think so." And then he turns out he's watched Sherlock Gnomes and not Romeo and Juliet. And he was kind
Oh.
of getting into the Romeo and Juliet, and I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch Sherlock Gnomes next." And he goes, "I'm going to sleep," and he ended up falling asleep during that one. And then I was like, "Okay, I want to watch Shrek," and he was like, seriously, we could have watched Shrek before we watched Romeo and Juliet. And I was like, yeah, well, now we're going to watch it. So buckle up, Buttercup, because here we go. He
We
fucking fell
watched Shrek
asleep, so I
also.
watched it by myself.
We've been watching Harry Potter though here lately.
That's a good one. We got the HBO free trial because we had like 8 different emails and we were going to try to get it. We are going to try to get like a free month's worth. And then we fucking forgot about it. We literally got it so we could binge watch all the Harry Potter movies, and then it didn't happen. And then I was like, man, I'm like $40 less in my account. What the hell? And then I saw it said HBO. This is a recurring fee, and I was like, son of a bitch! God damn it!
We have HBO Max through our cell phone plan because our cell phone plan is ancient. Like it was Brittany's grandpa's, and then when he passed, she took over the plan, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still the same plan. So like we just have HBO Max for free with our cell phone plan somehow. I don't know. It's
That's
awesome.
nice.
We just started watching Velma.
Hook a sister up. Listen, you can have my Netflix.
When, that way I don't have to pay for either one.
I
Oh
pay
my
for
god,
Netflix. You do the HBO Plus. I
we
get
have
Disney Plus for free.
way too many fucking streaming services. It's ridiculous.
Honestly.
Ugh. And
Anyways.
we have cable. Anyway, yeah, let's go
Oh,
on.
see, we don't have cable.
We have cable as well because of sports.
Oh, yeah, no. Will and I don't give a shit about that.
Brittany does.
Um,
She likes the sports ball.
sports ball. I like in-person sports ball, but on TV I get distracted too easily. I don't really care.
Yeah, same.
Um, chapter 13 was such a
Yeah.
fucking twist because I forgot. I was reading it, I was like, do. Holy shit.
I was like poor Knox because like I knew it was coming. Um and then I was like, that's what you fucking get, Agnes. Because Knox is like Agnes's favorite and like her little I don't
She's like,
know.
no, not that one. Too
Right.
fucking bad. I'm taking
That's what
her.
you fucking get, bitch, for being such a bitch.
And I was expecting, and I was honestly very surprised that Nox didn't fucking run. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like we have been establishing that she is a super hard, like, I can take care of the world, but it's like one of those things where if you take away that one thing that like makes the world go around, she like loses her fucking mind. Amaris is like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna live because that's what she wanted. Nox is like, I don't know what to do in my life. I'm gonna stand here because I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was
I feel
honestly kind
like
of pissed off. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I feel like it's kind of one of those things like she has been taking care of Amaris this whole time and trying to keep Amaris safe this whole time. But really, if you think back about everything we've read, Amaris has always been the brave one.
Yeah,
Like through everything, she's always been the risky one and the brave one, but it just doesn't seem that way because of the way she's described. But
but then like Nox goes along with it, so then I think you just kind of assume.
yeah, but Nox has always been the cautious one too. She's like, "Oh, don't get a splinter, don't scrape your knee." Like,
Yeah,
so
honestly,
I
do
think
it.
it's
Fucking do it.
right.
Oops,
Let's
accident.
solve some problems.
Right? Um, yeah, and even like in chapter 13, she talks about how shattered she is, and so she's like trying to hold her like chest together in fear of like her invisible wound like breaking, and it's like, damn girl, like when you get to Priori, like isn't that the place where you both were going to go?
Right, like
Why don't you fucking escape? Escape.
escape. To get me to escape? Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I can't. But
Like
then,
I don't
like, this
understand.
bitch is magic? Like,
I think she's a witch, fae, or literally like a raven. How did a one raven get to her and she's been in the area? No, bitch. Mm-mm. It took
yeah,
2 weeks to get that fucking raven there, and it took her 5 seconds to get back.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is
And
happening?
she's got like, I'm not saying black lipstick means that you're like, of the malevolent kind, but I feel like from the way
I own
everything
black
around us
lipstick.
is described. Did I say Maleficent?
No, I said I own black lipstick.
Oh yeah, I do too, and I love it. It's great. But I feel like in the time period right now, the way like it's
Yeah.
described, I feel like it's not. I
Yeah,
feel
no, I
if you're a
agree.
brothel owner, which we are apparently aware that like she's the madam of a brothel owner, I don't imagine her to be looking like that.
No, I don't either. I would think she would be very, like, well put together and, like,
She's got like blonde ringlets.
yeah.
She is very colorful. Like I would honestly imagine her being like the French aristocrat. Like
Yeah.
very like pale, plump, like
Put
reddish
together, like,
skin, like a little dot here, some like red lips. That's what I was
yep.
imagining.
I agree.
So I feel like when it was talking a lot and focusing a lot about like the black lipstick, I was like, she's a witch.
Yeah. Well, and I think Amaris even says, or yeah, Amaris, I think even says that, or maybe it was Knox. I don't remember. I didn't write down the page number for that, but I think she says that, like with her
I
black
definitely
lipstick
said
and
it the
her,
last time.
yeah,
I thought it was a. I said that was going to be one of my what is it called? One of my running theories.
oh, got you, yeah. And then part two, ownership, chapter 14,
Terrifying.
right? Um,
I already said everything I was going to say in chapter 14. I
okay,
said it really.
so I just wrote a couple things, but one was on page 132. I wrote jerk because um he's starting to be like kind of sarcastic with her. Odrin is starting to be kind of sarcastic with Amaris. Like he tells her not to go far, and then she's not too far away from the horse, and then all of a sudden he's just like walking away, and she's like, I was right here." And he was like, "I saw you."
I
Um,
told you not to go far. I was right there. I saw you.
yeah,
That shit pisses
and
me off. That's the bullshit Will does.
then he names her. They're talking about the name of his horse, and he hasn't had the horse for very long, so he hasn't named it, which is such a man thing to do, honestly. Like, but then he decides to name it Cobb, and I'm just like, really?
I
Which,
liked her
granted, the names,
versions.
well, some of them were a little bit
I liked Whisper. I think
trifling.
if anything, I liked Whisper.
I liked Ghost, but like Twilight,
Yeah, Twilight was weird.
Cloud.
No,
He said that's
I
a
liked
terrible
Whisper.
name for a horse. I don't hate Whisper, but I didn't love it.
Yeah, I think Whisper was the only one I liked out of all of them. I just feel like that would work well for like his job title and who.
So I that's why I liked Ghost,
Oh, yeah, that too.
because he's like an assassin.
I was thinking Whisper because I don't really know the color. I mean, what is it like gray with like gray dots or something like that?
Yeah, I think they called it dappled, which means it's like spotted, right? Like gray
Yeah,
with spots.
could have named it fucking Shadow.
But again, I feel like that's very like unoriginal. Like a lot of the names she came up with were very like,
Well, and I think she's got a master's in folklore, so a lot of these names might actually be.
oh, that's true. That's cool.
I want to
But
do
I didn't
that.
like Cobb.
I didn't like copy there. His what was it? His
Uh,
reasoning behind it.
he had a dog
I had a
named Cobb
dog named
growing
Bob
up.
growing up. He was a rambunctious little mongrel. After he died, I named the stray cat near our house Cobb too. I think it's a good name for a beast.
And she's
What
like, "Are you
the
serious?"
fuck? No, no. If I could stop.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but that's what we go with.
Cobb. Cobb it is.
And that's all I
Whatever.
have for chapter 14.
Yeah. I surprisingly didn't have anything to say about chapter 15. So
The bridge sounds fucking terrifying. So they like climb up this mountain, leaving Stone to go to the, how do you pronounce it? I looked it up earlier and
Omri.
I fucking forgot. Omrive.
Omri. Umrive, I
Okay,
think it is.
Omrive, yeah, Omrive. They have to cross this like stone bridge with no like railings, and it's like narrow and rickety looking. No, fuck no. But I don't like heights. Like I no,
Yeah,
just
I
no.
don't either. I don't I okay. I think I'm okay with heights. I think I have the fear of falling.
Okay, fair. Yes.
Cuz like I like sightseeing, I like being high to like see everything, but I just have a fear of falling cuz I feel like if I have a fear of heights, I wouldn't want to get on like any rides like high roller coasters anything like that.
That's fair. I have a fear of falling. And like I have, which Brittany thinks that I'm nuts when I say shit like this. But like I have those weird thoughts sometimes. Like you know how you see the
The
memes of people are
intrusive
like
thoughts.
when you're like driving your car and you're like I should just drive into that tree. Like
Yeah,
I get those kind of thoughts. So sometimes when I'm
same.
like in a really high thing, I'm like, what would happen if I just stepped off? Like
Yeah.
not because I'm like suicidal or anything, but like it's just one of those weird ass thoughts that I have, and
Yeah.
apparently
When
not everybody has those thoughts, but like
girl, I
that
got you.
happens.
When I was in Russia, we went to a chapel and we were taking a tour of the chapel and you could actually climb up to the top of the steeple. I would have been the only one not doing that and I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll come with." And it would have been fine if it wasn't for the fact that literally you came out on the roof of the fucking steeple and you were held up there by two wooden planks and a guardrail, like a slight guardrail, and that was just you walking around, and that was it. And I was like, I'm like cowering to the side, like I think I have pictures, like, like to the side of it, and I'm like walking around the entire top of the steeple, and I go, what would happen if I just jumped off? Do you think I would die? And everyone's just like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go inside now. I did my round. I'm
No,
done. Goodbye.
like I swear, I swear I'm not
Well,
suicidal. Like I would never actually act upon that, but like those thoughts just happen, and I'm like, what would happen if I did this?
it's my fear. I gotta know.
Right. Like,
Well, and that's how it was too on the way back down because like the steeple was so and it's obviously like an old building. It's like centuries old. And there's like like the spiral staircases, like the wooden spiral
uh-huh.
staircases. No one ever talks about how fucking narrow they are.
Oh my
How
God, how
fucking
hard they are
narrow.
to walk up and down.
Yeah, so there's two ropes like holding each side, and there's only one way up and down. So if there's like people coming in, like I had to hold on to like the center pole until they could like go by me. And honestly, if I would have fell, like I would have fell and I would have kept tumbling. And so I was holding on to it, like looking over the edge, like, it's not, I mean, obviously it wasn't a far, it would be the like tumbling down the staircase like
Yeah.
thing. But God, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Amaris and I have that in common.
Yeah. For real.
And Will would be like, Will would literally do the same Odrin thing, like, then it doesn't matter. Like, if you're not doing it, then it doesn't matter.
Right? Like, shut the fuck up.
Just let
But
me
also,
know.
page. Wait, yeah, page 139. We're on chapter 15 already. Page 139. What is it with us and books with castles built into mountains?
I don't know, but I enjoy it. It's my summer home.
Right? Oh my gosh. But this castle definitely sounds a lot more like the Witcher's Keep
Yeah,
than
very eerie, not very like
Win.
homey feeling.
Yeah.
Just a fortress, basically, like a fort.
Yeah.
Military
Agreed.
esque fort is what I'm like imagining. But still, it's probably gorgeous because I mean you're fucking in the mountain. You got a
Right?
nice view of everything.
Ugh.
But anyways,
Yeah. Did you read chapter 16 or did you stop
I
there?
did.
Okay, I
I
did too.
did read chapter 16.
Me too. Okay.
Chapter 16.
Chapter 16. Page 141, I literally wrote Illyrians question mark because
Same.
like they're target like they're super sexist like how are we going to handle her special health needs and she's going to slow us down when we go on runs and she can't spar with us and like shut the fuck up.
I know. I made the same comment. I was like, Odin did say women don't train where he's from, so she shouldn't really be too surprised.
Right, right.
Also, why is this a common thing in all the books?
Right? Like Illyrians? Like come on.
Ma'am, I thought we were giving you a break. Like, why are you here? Well,
Oh my
okay,
god.
so she was while she's at this keep though, she is she is reading books. I mean, there's like tons of
Yeah.
books in her like little room, and one of them is literally like a dissection book on, I
Yeah.
guess, fae people. And the way they were describing it, it was like a guy with like talons instead of nails and like bat-like wings.
The adder.
I was like, oh, terrifying.
Yes. But honestly, I feel like Sarah J. Maas pulled a lot of her stuff from folklore, and so is she. So it makes sense that there
Yeah,
are parallels because they're both
yeah,
actually doing research to write their books.
I like
I
that.
can form words and speak today, I promise.
um, So on page 142, she talks about how she can't stand her quiet because she's like always around people, she's always around somebody, and how if she's by herself, she literally just like lets the emotions like come and she's trying not to do that. And honestly, Will and I had a conversation the other day. He's like, "Do you ever just like want to sit in silence and just think?" And I honestly thought it was like a ploy to like get me to shut up so he could have some like peace and quiet for just a little bit. And he's like, "No, this is a genuine question. Do you ever just sit there in silence and just think? Like do you ever, you're never not talking to somebody. You're always on your phone, texting, you're always FaceTiming somebody, you're always doing something or another with someone. Like you're never not doing something." He's like, "You'll sit there, play a video game, and literally FaceTime fucking Chloe. Like you're always on the phone or doing something. Do you ever just sit there and just think about it? Just quietly, like not talk?" And I was like, "I don't like to do that. I have poor mental health." So Will thinks quiet time is a good time to think about it. And I'm like, no thanks.
Oh
I'm
man,
on
I'm the
Mars's
worst.
side for this.
I literally listen to audiobooks in the shower so I don't think in the shower. Because
Yeah.
otherwise I just sit there and think. So what happens now, what my subconscious and my brain do now, I'll wake up at like 4 a.m. and lay there for an hour just thinking about things.
Right? I'll wake up and just immediately go into like a panic attack. And I'm just like, cool.
I'll
Why?
literally wake up and I'll be laying there for like a half hour. And then I'm like, why the fuck am I planning a lesson right now? Like, what is happening?
Right?
Like,
I literally was sitting there the other day. I'm like, okay, when I get to work tomorrow, I'm going to have to do this, this, and this. I should first do this. I should first. I I literally had like 6 hours before I had to go to work. It was not a
yeah,
priority at that time.
yeah. I literally woke up and was like, I'll wake up and plan like what I'm gonna do, or I'll be like making a mental to do list, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Go back to
Right?
sleep so you're rested for work. Like, what are we doing right now?
Nothing makes sense.
Oh my gosh.
Also, how long has she been here in this room?
Right. It seems like it's been forever, but I think it's only been like 2 days.
Because she's like, yeah, I've read that book 3 times. It's like, damn, how long is that book,
Well,
first off? And
so I
two, are
think
you
the
a fast
first
reader?
they had three. So the first thing was 3 days. Like the guys are arguing for 3 days. It says on page whatever page this is 141. Um,
Oh, okay. Never
it's
mind. That makes
part of
sense.
this 3 day feud happening in the keep. So and then I think
She
there's two
also
more
probably
days
doesn't
after
have like
that.
bad mental health
That's true.
to where she's like, I gotta go do this or I gotta go do that. Like we live in the time where that is a problem.
It really
They had
is.
nothing, like no phone, no nothing. Like they made do with what they had.
Well,
So
and
that
she
makes
had such a
sense.
like for lack of a better word, cushy life at the orphanage because they didn't want her to do the hard chores. They didn't want her to get hurt. So like she is used to idleness, I feel.
Yeah.
Which I honestly lock me up in a room for 3 days with some books. I'll reread the books 3, 4 times. I am fine with that. Listen, I will sleep for 4 days straight. Mess with me.
Give me some of that lifestyle.
For real. But then I don't want to do the assassin training afterwards. Like just keep me in the room.
No, I think I'd want to do that. I think that'd be fun.
No, thank you. Partially just because I can't fucking stand men, and these are misogynistic men on top of that. No, thank you.
No, that just drives my need to like do it more.
And no, 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 no.
It's like you're
I
misogynistic,
cannot.
bitch. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, no. Her silver hair though. Part of my hair is like silver. You can't really tell in the video, but like part of my hair is silver because of the blonde blue that was mixed with red. And maybe I'll go silver next. I think that'd be cool.
I see these people with the like purposeful gray silver hair.
Hmm.
Like I think even Ariana Grande did it there for a while, like where they dye their hair
Yeah.
gray. I really like it.
Right?
Like
It's
I
like natural, but not. But it
yeah.
looks great for their age.
Yeah. I like it. So
I don't know.
anywho.
But Amaris is
And
making
then
me want to go silver next.
at the end of the chapter, what's his name? I keep wanting to say Geralt. I know that's not his name though. Odrin.
Odrin.
Um, Odrin comes to get her, and they're like they want to meet her and talk to her to decide if she's going to be allowed to train with them, and that's where it ends. So we're ending on another cliffhanger somehow. Like we're not even doing this shit on purpose.
Or are we? No.
I wish we were that impressive. We're really not.
It's Emily got off work today and immediately started reading so that we could record tonight. It was that bad.
uh, I finished reading on my lunch at work.
See, there you go. We
Like,
both suck.
literally
It's
took
okay.
my stuff to work with me and finished reading at work. Also, look at my sticker.
It's Ariel.
Well, no, not that one.
Oh,
This
which
one.
one? Whatever the
It
fuck you
says
want.
read whatever the fuck you want.
I love it.
I got it from Probably Smut.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I got that one. I got a few from them. Like this is like an unofficial plug. They don't sponsor us or anything, y'all. But hey, if you want to, hit us
We
up
cheat.
at a court of witches or a court of witches at gmail.com. But they had this deal going on where you could order one of their sticker packs and just pay for shipping. And
Damn, how many stickers did you get?
it was a sticker pack. It was 5. So it was
Oh, I
that
thought
one,
you were
the read
still
whatever the fuck you
digging.
want. And then this one says good girls read dark romance. And it's got
For
the
sure.
hands tied together with the rope. This one says give me smut or give me death.
I like.
This one says villains have my heart.
For sure, though.
And then this one looks like a stamp and it says smut slut. So I
love
took
it.
this to work today and was like writing in my notes, but I was like, leave my journal flat, leave it flat, leave it flat, leave it flat. Because like my stickers are, the front of my book's not too bad. But the back is special.
Quite not the
It does have
best.
Ariel on it though.
It does.
It's a
That's why
weird
I saw
color
first.
Ariel.
It really is, but that's okay. That's Ariel nonetheless.
And that's not my
Mermaid.
camera. It's actually that color. She's like blue. I don't know why.
She kind of looks green against the yellow.
Yeah.
But
That's
okay.
what color the sticker is.
Anyways.
It's weird. Anyway.
Until next
I kind of
time.
forgot we were still recording. So there you go, guys.
I know. I was like, do you want to show me this after we hit stop?
Yeah,
Or
nope.
I guess I'll just
Already
let
did
it run. Anyways. Till next time. Bye.
Bye. That's gonna